Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Lab Code Girl, and today I'm excited to share a video on how to effectively present a research paper. This tutorial is specifically designed for Masters in Science students who often encounter research paper presentations as part of their coursework. So if you're new to the research presentations and wondering where to start, this video is perfect for you. I will guide you through the process, providing valuable tips and a few insights to help you deliver a successful presentation. So, you know why this is critical? It's critical because when we are new to this kind of presentation, what we often do is what we often do is definitely mistakes. Okay, what kind of mistakes is we think that if I have to present somebody else's work, particularly a research paper, so I take screenshots and we directly copy paste it to the PPT slide, or we copy paste each and every word and then we paste it on the PPT slide, which makes it look very wordy and not so appealing. So it looks very disturbing even to the audience when they see your presentation. So it's very critical to understand how do we present a research paper to even engage the audience. Okay, so to illustrate this process of presenting a research paper, I have selected a specific study on fungal pigments as a case example. So throughout this tutorial, what I'll do is I will walk you through each component of the paper and then demonstrate how to effectively present it. So I will not demonstrate as in demonstrate because uh, with the time constraint, and even for you, okay, you cannot read each and everything from the research paper while presenting. It should be very short and quick. So this video will serve as a practical example of how you can structure and deliver your own paper or somebody else's research paper presentation during your coursework. So basically you have to break down the research paper into section covering the title or the aim, and then the introduction followed up by methodology, result and conclusion, which is a basic structure of any research paper if we see, right? So we'll go through each section and I will explain you what to include and how to present it effectively. Okay, and this is critical. This structure is very critical because when you follow this structure, you will be able to create a very clear and concise presentation that will effectively communicate your research to the audience. Okay, so now let's dive deeper. The first and the foremost part of your PPT slide should have the title or the aim. So whenever we present, or whenever we look into the paper, okay, whenever we read the title or the aim of the paper, it clearly tells us about the research, what it is about. So if we are interested, we read it. If we are not interested, we do not proceed with that paper, right? So this is how critical it is. It sets the context during your presentation. It grabs the attention of your audience. So that is why it is very critical that you mention the aim. Sometimes aim and the title of the paper are same, so you can mention any one, or if they are different, then you make sure you mention both of them. In this case, if you see, I've written aim. What is the aim of this paper? So this paper talks about the isolation and optimization of a particular microorganism called as Monaskis rubor of OMNRC45 strain for red pigment production, and the evaluation of this pigment as a food colorant. Okay, so now let's dive deeper into the introduction section. When now presenting the introduction section, you should clearly state the research question, objectives and significance of the study. So this will also set the context for your audience and help them understand the relevance of the research paper. Now, as you can see over here, I have written the introduction section of the entire paper into 3 bullet points. Okay, because it saves time, and while presenting, It does not even make your presentation very boring, and it gives a very quick visibility of the entire paper, what it talks about, what is the agenda, what is the scope, what is the impact, right? So this is how you have to do. You do not, as I said in the beginning of the video, right, you do not have to necessarily mention all the nitty-gritties. That is, you do not have to copy paste each and every sentence from the paper and paste it over here. So please be very cautious when you do, when you prepare or present any research paper. Okay, so next we move to the another section, which is materials and methods, or sometimes it is also called as methodology section. So here what I want you to describe the research design, the materials which are used, and the procedure which is used in the study. So this section should be concise and focused on the key aspects, as you see, okay, step by step of this methodology entirely. But again, if you see very clearly, if I have talked about citrulline analysis, I have not talked about how they have performed it. Okay, for that we have result and discussion and conclusion part. We are not mentioning everything, or your slide should not talk. Okay, it's your slide should act as an aiding tool. That's all. It's you who are presenting. So you take the bullet point, you talk more about it while presenting. Okay, so that's why you do not necessarily write anything or everything. Okay, so once this part is done, see, if you see very clearly, I've mentioned stepwise, okay, as it was there in the paper, but I've not written everything in detail. So once that is done, we move to the next section, that is result and discussion. So this is where you will present the findings using the visual aids as it is in the research paper, or you can create, if there are any tables or figure, you can create on your own as well to summarize in a simple way. But if there are pictures like this, like which cannot be changed, right, these are actual images, so this has to come as it is on the paper. So you take the picture, screenshot, and then you paste it over here, but make sure that you do not edit the footnote. Okay, so make sure to highlight the key results and trends that emerge from the analysis. All right, so I will not read every slide. So similarly, whatever you think it's critical should come up here on the PPT, right, with the footnote like this, tables and all of these. And then finally the last section, which is the conclusion. So you conclude the presentation by summarizing the key findings and the implications of the research in a bullet form, as you can see over here, right? Here what I've done is 4 bullet points, and that's it. As you can see, I'll read it out to you, that this paper not only talks about, but what was the conclusion of this research, right? So that the fungal strain M. ruber was shown to electively produce a natural red pigment, which was the aim, right, of this paper or the research, under submerged fermentation conditions without producing the harmful mycotoxin, which is citrulline. The production of the fungal pigment could be maximized by controlling fermentation conditions such as carbon and nitrogen sources and the pH value. Then they performed the sensory and the biosafety evaluation of the red monascus pigment, which was produced by the M. ruber, indicated its biosafety and applicability as a food colorant compared to unsafe artificial colorant, and it also gives you what further studies should be conducted to better understand the sources, production, and biosafety of the microbial pigment as promising alternatives to hazardous artificial colorant, right? So when you read conclusion, you not necessarily, if I'm in hurry, if I just read the aim, if I read the conclusion, and then I'll figure out whether this paper is of my use, as in if I can use this for my research work, I can consider it, right? Or I can go back to another paper. So this is how conclusion also becomes very, very critical. So, in conclusion, presenting a research paper effectively requires a clear structure, very concise language, and engaging visuals. So, by following these tips and guideline, uh, you will be able to deliver a confident and compelling presentation that showcases your research and leaves a long lasting impression on your audience as well. And you cannot end your presentation by giving a proper due credit, okay, as I've done. So this paper uh, is taken, I mean, this is the paper which I've used to create this presentation for y'all. So if anybody is interested, you can go back to this paper and read and see how I've presented. So yeah, that's all for today's video. With this, I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful. And if you have any questions or need further clarification, please feel free to drop in your comments, and I'll definitely read them. So don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on research and academic skills. Yeah, thank you so much.